Cao Cao's army was closing in, fast. 100,000 civilians, farmers, merchants, children, had chosen to follow Liu Bei rather than surrender to the most powerful warlord in China. His advisors screamed at him to abandon them. All he had to do was leave them behind. He refused. That decision nearly killed him. It also tells you everything about Liu Bei, the man who built an empire not through genius or wealth, but through something far harder to explain. This is his story. Before we get to the moments that defined him, you need to understand what Liu Bei's early career actually looked like. It was a disaster. Repeatedly, he fought in the Yellow Turban Rebellion. He was appointed to posts. He was removed. He held Shu province briefly. Lost it. He allied with Cao Cao. Escaped. He allied with Yuan Shao. That didn't work either. By his late 30s, Liu Bei had probably lost more cities and armies than any other major warlord. Most men would have quit. But every single time he lost everything, the people who mattered most stayed. Guan Yu came back. Zhang Fei was always there. New talent kept finding him even when he had nothing to offer. You don't inspire that kind of loyalty by being clever. You inspire it by being real. Liu Bu, the most feared warrior of the era, a man so dangerous that even Cao Cao hesitated before engaging him. He'd betrayed and killed his own patron. He was homeless, powerful, and desperate. Most warlords wouldn't go near him. Liu Bei took him in. He gave Liu Bu shelter, resources, a place to regroup. The same instinct that would later make him slow down for 100,000 civilians. He simply could not turn away someone in need, even when every calculation said he should. Liu Bu repaid him by taking Xuzhou, Liu Bei's city, while he was away on campaign. Gone, his first real city, taken by the man he sheltered. Liu Bei then had to ally with Cao Cao just to remove Liu Bu permanently. Liu Bu was executed in 198 AD. Before his death, he appealed to Liu Bei for mercy. Liu Bei reminded Cao Cao that Liu Bu had a habit of betraying people who trusted him. It was the one time Liu Bei's generosity didn't extend to a second chance. But the pattern continued. Loss after loss. Back to zero again and again, and Liu Bei kept going. 207 AD. Liu Bei heard about a young man living in seclusion near Longzhong. Zhuge Liang, called Wolong, the sleeping dragon. Liu Bei went to find him. Zhuge Liang wasn't home. He went back. Zhuge Liang was sleeping. His companions wanted to wake him. Liu Bei stood outside in the cold and waited until Zhuge Liang woke on his own. He went a third time. Zhuge Liang finally received him. Think about what this looked like from Zhuge Liang's perspective. Every major warlord in China was competing for talent. And here was Liu Bei, a man in his 40s with a minor posting in someone else's territory, no kingdom, no real army, coming back 3 times asking a farmer to help him save the Han dynasty. The audacity of that ask. The sincerity required to make it not ridiculous. Zhuge Liang said yes. He laid out what history calls the Longzhong Plan, a comprehensive strategic vision for how Liu Bei could carve out a kingdom from nothing and eventually challenge Cao Cao. Liu Bei wept with gratitude. He said having Zhuge Liang was like a fish finding water. Guan Yu and Zhang Fei were skeptical of this young strategist getting so much attention. They wouldn't be for long. 208 AD. Cao Cao swept south with his enormous army. Liu Bei had just died. His son surrendered Jing province. And Liu Bei suddenly had no base, no ally, and Cao Cao's full attention. He had to run. And here is the moment that defines Liu Bei more than any battle. The civilians of the region, Ordinary people, tens of thousands of families, refused to stay behind. They'd rather flee into danger with Liu Bei than stay safe without him. By the time his column reached Dangyang, he had over 100,000 civilians moving with him. They could only cover 10 li a day. Cao Cao sent 5,000 elite cavalry in pursuit, fast, closing in. Every advisor Liu Bei had told him the same thing. You have to leave the civilians. They're going to get everyone killed. Liu Bei said no. He said, a great enterprise requires people as its foundation. How can I abandon those who have come to me? Cao Cao caught up with them at Changban. It was a catastrophe. Most of Liu Bei's supplies were captured. His family was lost in the chaos. Zhao Yun fought through the entire enemy army to rescue his infant son. Liu Bei escaped with barely a handful of followers, but something remarkable happened in the aftermath. The story of what he did at Changban, choosing his people over his survival, spread. Zhuge Liang went to negotiate the alliance that would lead to Red Cliffs. The decision that nearly killed him built the coalition that saved him. 208 AD, the Battle of Red Cliffs. Cao Cao's fleet burned. The dream of quick unification died on the Yangtze. Liu Bei, the man who had spent decades losing everything, suddenly had room to breathe. After Red Cliffs, Liu Bei moved quickly. He secured territory, consolidated his position, then did something that revealed the other side of his character entirely. He took Yi province from Liu Zhang, a fellow Han relative who had invited him in as an ally. Historians have debated this ever since. His defenders say the cause of Han restoration required it. His critics say it was straightforward betrayal. One historian described his skill bluntly: Confucian in appearance, legalist in substance. He was capable of hard decisions. He just made them in a way that preserved the image of a man who didn't want to. By 221 AD, he had declared himself Emperor of Han, Shu Han, with Chengdu as his capital. The man who sold sandals on the street had a throne. Then everything fell apart. Guan Yu, holding Jing province, overextended his campaign against Cao Cao. Sun Quan's forces attacked from behind. Guan Yu was captured and executed in 219 AD, the brother he had fought beside since they had nothing. Gone. Then Zhang Fei. Preparing to march in revenge, Zhang Fei was assassinated in his sleep by his own officers, both brothers, gone within months. Every advisor Liu Bei had, including Zhuge Liang, counseled patience. The priority was Cao Cao's Wei, not Sun Quan's Wu. Attacking Wu now would break the alliance and accomplish nothing except revenge. Liu Bei launched the largest military campaign of his life against Wu anyway. Sun Quan's general Lu Xun was patient and brilliant. He let Liu Bei's forces advance deep into difficult terrain through summer heat. Then he set fire to the forest camps. The Battle of Yiling in 222 AD was a catastrophe. The army Liu Bei had spent years building was destroyed. He retreated to Baidicheng, White Emperor City, broken. It was the one time the pattern broke. Every other loss had happened to him. This one he caused himself. The same quality that made people love him, that raw, unguarded emotion, had driven the decision that undid his life's work. He never recovered. Liu Bei died at Baidicheng in 223 AD. He was 62 years old. In his final days, he called Zhuge Liang to his bedside. He told him, "My son Liu Shan may not be capable of ruling. If you find him unworthy, take the throne yourself." Zhuge Liang wept and said, "I will serve him with every last breath I have." Historians still debate whether Liu Bei meant it sincerely or whether it was a masterclass in binding Zhuge Liang's loyalty completely. Even at the end, with Liu Bei, you're never quite sure. He told his son, "Do not neglect small acts of goodness because they seem minor. Do not engage in evil because it seems small." Then he was gone. Zhuge Liang spent the rest of his life trying to fulfill that promise, launching campaign after campaign northward, exhausting himself and the kingdom. Shu Han fell in 263 AD, 40 years after Liu Bei's death. And yet, in Chengdu today, the Wuhu Shrine, built to honor Zhuge Liang, also houses Liu Bei's tomb. People visit constantly. The reverence is genuine and 1,800 years old. Why does he still resonate? Not because he was the most powerful. Cao Cao was more powerful. Not because he was the most brilliant. Zhuge Liang was smarter. Not because he always won. He lost more than almost anyone. He resonates because he felt real. Because 100,000 ordinary people chose to follow him into danger rather than stay safe without him. Because the greatest strategist of his era chose him over everyone else. Because his brothers stayed when every rational reason to leave existed. And because even now, reading about a man who sold sandals on a street corner and ended up on a throne, you find yourself wanting him to make it. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you haven't already, please leave a like and subscribe to help this channel grow. See you in the next episode.